Hi and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic lick lesson for the months of January through March/April 2019. I had a request to teach the song Look on Yonder Wall by Freddie King. And I'm not going to go through and teach the whole song, but what I'm going to do is kind of explain the licks that he's playing and where he's playing them and the general ideas behind everything that you hear in the intro, the fills, and then also the solo and end part of the song where he fades out on that. And it's really pretty classic Freddie King stuff, just played a little louder and a little more distorted and a little differently than what he played on his earlier recordings for King, which is what I'm more familiar with. But anyway, what he's doing, he's playing in the key of C sharp, at least that's what I hear on the recording. It could be C as well with his guitar tuned a little differently. And all the licks he's playing are right here within the first position blues box. So he kicks off the tune with something like this, where he's just climbing in and then bending. And that is a really cool lick. And then he does this. And that's how he gets the tune started. And that just shows a lot of ideas that you're going to hear throughout the song. He's going to play licks in the first position blues box, and then he's going to move to the second position blues box and kind of back and forth throughout the tune. So let's talk about the first position blues box. He does a lot of these bends. And this is like a bend and release with a pull off. And this bend here in the C sharp, he's going between the 9th and the 12th frets on the second string. I'm using all 4 fingers. And you'll hear Freddie use this in a lot of different ways. Sometimes he'll bend it twice in a row and then go into a bend on the 3rd string, which is another one. Now I've got like 7 or 8 different licks tabbed out if you want to see exactly what's going on with some of these. But the idea is the same. He's over the first position blues box, so that long bend. He's also going to do some bends on with the 11th fret of the 3rd string. And some different licks on the 4th string and the 3rd string. So that bend on the 3rd string, we're just using 3 fingers now from the 9th, 10th, and the 11th fret of the 3rd string. It's even once where he throws in that double stop on the 2nd and 3rd string. So this is all right there in that first position blues box. Now there's a couple times where he's going to be bending on the 11th fret of the 1st string. Or even the 12th fret. That's another Freddie King, going to the 12th fret of the 1st string and doing those long bends on the 1st and 2nd string. Now there's another lick he does on the 2nd string where he does that bend and pull off. And you'll hear that in there as well. So those are the first position licks over the first position blues box. Then when he gets over the second position blues box, just doing a lot of typical blues stuff. Some cool things I hear. He does kind of a pre-bend like that, where he's going to already have the string bent and then pick it and then release it to the 12th fret of the 1st string and then get that 14th fret of the 2nd string, that blue note. And he'll do this where he's bending the 12th fret of the 1st string. All kinds of different licks. Playing around in that second blues box between the 12th and the 14th frets of the 1st and the 2nd string. And there's another one, that pull off, where he's going from the 12th fret of the 1st string to the 14th fret to the 12th fret of the 2nd string. That's another thing that you hear. So throughout the tune, whether it be his fills or the solo licks when he gets going in the introduction, he's playing just in the first position blues box and the second position blues box in C sharp. He doesn't do any real fancy licks in there. He does a little bit. You know, there's one where he does this run kind of thing, which he's famous for. This would be the 9th fret to the 10th fret on the 3rd string, the 9th fret to the 11th on the 2nd string, to the 9th fret of the 1st string. And then all kinds of different variations on the bend. He does some of these bends where he bends and kind of slowly releases. And that's really the cool part of the Freddie King sound, is the way he gets such feeling and such soul out of these simple notes. And a lot of that is the way he bends it and releases it. Stuff like that. All kinds of different things you can do with that. So if you're trying to figure out Yonder Wall by Freddie King, that's really all it is. And there's so many cool Freddie King licks in there, it's hard to pick out just one to feature this time. But if I had to pick one, there's one he does in the introduction. He starts out with this. And then he does something like this. I really like that. Just the combination and the way he uses that pre-bent note. That little lick. And then that bend on the 12th fret of the 1st string. Really cool stuff. But anyway, I think you can take those ideas and go to Yonder Wall and use my tab and listen to it. Figure out those 6, 7 licks that I have tabbed out, and then pretty much you can get anything else in the song. Now there's one part in the closing solo where he goes over the 4. And so the 4 in C sharp is going to be the F sharp. And what he's doing there is bending up on the 16th fret of the 1st string. And I hear a little walk, chromatic walk, 16, 15, 14 on the 1st string before he gets back into the 2nd blues box. So that's something a little different. Something like that. And he does that right at the end of the tune. That's the only time he goes to that in that song. Hope this is helpful. Whoever it is that gave you this request for Look on Yonder Wall, listen to it, take these ideas and see if you can figure it out yourself. And if you have any further questions, just let me know and I can get more specific with this.